So, the truth is, I did attempt to go back.
What have you done?
I won't say it was a stupid decision at all for me to consider that. I just think that I was so like emotionally exhausted that I was like so willing to like, okay, no. Well, the reality is, so like after the fact, let me just, before I get to my realization, let me just talk about that. So we already went over me coming back from Chicago, leaving virtually. I still have a lot of things in Chicago because I couldn't bring everything with me. It just was not possible. But I left everything, I left a life essentially that I thought I was going to be building, to kind of build my own life in a sense, build my own, set my own trajectory for my own life, and kind of just stop sitting in the, I wouldn't even describe it as me like sitting in the passenger seat, because I still, pursued grad school and did really well in it. I am doing really well in grad school. I'm pretty sure I'll be graduating with honors. Let's give me a shoulder tap. But anyway, enough of that. So I did attempt to go back to Chicago. It happened like one day before he was set to go back to Chicago, and it was already like had been like a very emotionally like draining time for me, and just like I was just crying a lot, and going through a lot of the emotions of heartache. And there's also the dopamine hit that, being in partnership, being in relationship with like a lot of women, we get addicted to that. Like a lot of things, people get addicted to dopamine, but I think it was the withdrawal that was happening, because I just remember being so like emotionally, like I kept going back and forth with myself, like, do I want to take the job or do I want to go back? Do I want to take the job or do I want to go back? And the logical, most smart decision, obviously, girl, is to take the job, take the money, go where the money is. But in that moment, it just felt really raw still. And unless you've been like, if you've been in a relationship, we all know how the feeling is, and it's just, that's like how I felt. And I remember like I remember like him coming for us to hang out a bit, and I keep thinking I'm hearing somebody. I remember I was talking to my brother. I remember I talked to my mom, actually. Side note, before I even got to that point, I remember calling my mom, and I was on the phone crying to her and just telling her about how like uncomfortable I felt, and how uncomfortable I'm gonna have to be right now. And I was just, contemplating like, do I need to go back? And my mom was like, no, you don't. It's gonna be okay. It's temporary discomfort. You're gonna be okay. And that wasn't enough for me, so I went to my brother and I was like crying to him, and he gave me really good advice. He essentially told me like, you have to make that decision. No one else can really make that decision for you. So in my mind I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back. So stick with me, because when you're in that state, it just makes sense. Like your mind is gonna like, it goes, I feel like my mind was going into like protection mode, and it was like panicking because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be around this person. And everything just started, I think, coming crashing down on me all at once, or at least that's how it felt. And what else happened? He came here for us to hang out. And I had made my mind up. I was like, I'm gonna go back. Like, me and my cat are going back to Chicago. Like, that's that. So he gets here and I'm like, oh, I want to talk for a moment or whatever. So I'm not even going to go through the rigmarole, I'm not going to go through like the whole everything in detail like that. But essentially, I was trying to convince myself and him that it made sense for me to walk away from a job that is a really great opportunity for me. It just didn't make sense to do that. And in the moment, I remember I reacted like I felt, in a sense, like, well, why aren't you leaning into my delusion, essentially, is like the best way to describe it. I was upset because I was like, well, why aren't you? But no, like, logically, girl, like, it was not smart. But I think it's real human for me to tell that part of my story, because I don't want it to come off as if like I broke ties and that was just that. And I just packed my shit and I left. No, like, I went through like very differing like levels of emotions. Like, I was angry. Like, I was angry. And then I was sad and I was crying, and just especially in Chicago, like, I couldn't even get myself together. At one point, I was like avoiding, like, not trying to let him see me cry. But the thing about it is, I think we look at crying as weakness, and especially men look at crying as weakness. So I didn't want him to like further be like, oh wow, like, I got her really messed up, like, she's around here, she can't even go throughout her day without, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want it to come off that way, but it was the truth. Like, I'm okay with being vulnerable. I think that's my superpower. I think crying is good for you, but I feel like, especially in our community, the Black community, we kind of look down on that type of vulnerability for some reason. But one thing about me, I'ma cry. So, but yeah, I almost abandoned myself again, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I was strong enough to stand firm, you know what I mean, in my decision. And that is the lesson of this video. And also, side note, now that we're at the end of the video, let me think, is there anything else that I want to include? I think that's it. That's pretty much it. I do want to say that it's not lost on me that there are 20 subscribers. There are 20 of you. We're small, but we're mighty. And I didn't want it to I didn't want to do another video without like making it known that I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you subscribe. I hope you stick around. That's key. Like, we're small, but I think there's power in like little small spaces, especially on YouTube. And I'm appreciative. I thank you all for subscribing, and if you watch my content, thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm on the road to, what am I at, 20? I'm on the road to, my next goal is 50 subscribers. So we're on the road to 50. So stick around. It is my intention to record weekly, but I will be starting a job. So my schedule, so I'll have to figure that out. I'm going to try to keep that up, especially during the summer while I'm on break for school. But when school starts, I don't know how committed I'm gonna be to a weekly upload. I'm gonna grind, but I don't know. But we'll see. But I am definitely committed to building, to growing a community of women, of non-binary people, of like-minded people that believe in the empowerment of themselves and the progression of themselves. So that is the mission here. That is the mission. And I will see you all in the next video.